It was just a black space. It was just emptiness. You know that heart drop feeling you get whenever like something scares you? It was that constantly. That feeling always happened to me every day, constantly. I have held a knife to myself before, thinking about it. I have stood on a balcony ready to jump from the 3rd floor. So honestly, I can say without Second Wind Fund, I would not be sitting here today.
Hello, this is Tina.
Hey Tina, it's Kim from Second Wind. How you doing? Hi Thea, this is Kim. How you doing? From Second Wind Fund.
Good. Yes, thank you so much for calling back.
Well, start by telling me about Kiddo. What's going on?
He has a plan for suicide. Very thought out, very laid out, but it's the date of it changes a lot, depending on kind of what he's going through. For the last 3 months, every morning I wake up wondering if I would be better off killing myself that day.
Well, I had a pretty abusive childhood, to the point like I'd be locked in my room and had to ask to go to the bathroom and stuff like that. So I guess I didn't really realize that there was anything going on in my head until I was about 11 and moved in with my mom. Childhood photos, I don't have a whole lot, but we'll start with the big one, I suppose. Yep, that was me, about 11 or 12. It was very lonely. It was feeling like you're in a hole and you just see people walking by, you're just screaming for them, and someone will occasionally stop like, hey, how'd you get down there? And you explain the story and then nothing comes from that. You don't get your help. And sorry.
Such a broad range of things that could be happening. There could be family stressors, there could be academic stressors. There's not always one thing. There's always a combination of factors, which is what makes suicidality a hard thing to unravel, is because there's no one set thing. We can't just say bullying, social media. It's usually a combination of factors. Tell me more about the suicidality piece.
So he said in 4th grade he thought about it a lot. I think he said he attempted, or there was some, also saved a friend by, the friend called him right before he was going to attempt, and Bruce called the police and essentially saved his life. So there's been some trauma around suicide.
Whew, that sounds like an understatement.
Yeah.
She has engaged in self-harm in the past, and she felt like she was getting to that point again.
And at 8:30 at night, rang her doorbell. Then I just got in a fight with my mom. I think I'm going to go jump.
Oh,
Can you
no.
help me? Yeah.
Wow.
So she brought him to the hospital.
Because suicide is one of the leading causes of death for youth across the nation in Colorado. And being able to provide them life-saving therapy, a chance to save their lives, is a huge deal.
We got into some legal trouble when I was 17. And I can't remember the officer's name, but she told me in order to not have it on my record, I needed to go see a counselor and write an apology note. So she gave me a list of counselors that work with Second Wind Fund.
So mom's just looking for some support with that. She says she can't afford it to do it just all out of pocket. And the insurance won't cover it anymore. But I guess they only covered a certain amount of sessions.
And would you guess family's income is less than 75?
Yes. Mom is the only household income, and currently she's working 2 jobs.
When I finally got to use Second Wind Fund, I was already moved out with my boyfriend at the time. And so we had really no money. I got pregnant, he was working, I was staying home.
People can't always afford therapy. That's just not always in the budget. And to be able to offer that to them and say, hey, I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna go get in the weeds with you, as it were, work with you, free of charge, that's a gift that I'd love to be able to give somebody.
And you have a real professional to walk you through your thoughts. It makes a world of difference, because I wouldn't have come to the same conclusion on my own without a therapist with me to help me through my emotions. She's like, try to pinpoint emotions. Okay, well, I feel like it's just all anger. It's not. There's so much more to it.
Knowing how to just listen to somebody. Sometimes I think we forget to listen. Like we can hear somebody, but really listen. What's going on? You never know how that can impact somebody's day or someone's life by just even listening. And if something comes up, knowing the steps to take, like, hey, let's call the Colorado Crisis Services, let's do X. But taking that step to being willing to listen.
If a child reaches out to you and you're the adult, all right, and you know you want to help this child, you got to push through until you know that child's okay. And keep checking in with them, because they're not going to come to you. They're not going to keep coming back saying, hey, it didn't work this time. Hey, I'm still feeling like this. You actually need to reach out to them because they're just children. I'm really happy to be here and be able to share with teenagers and children out there that Second Wind Fund is here for them. They weren't made for anything else but for you. Just reach out.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part.
Let's get this kiddo some support. Like,
Yeah.
look at me, wow. All right, look for my email here shortly.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Of course, thanks, Macy.
Bye.
Bye.